In this episode, I'm going to continue summarizing the quest lore for the Tauren starting zone. If you missed last week's episode when we kicked it off, then go ahead and click this link right above over here. But if you're caught up, then let's find out what you may have skipped in World of Warcraft. If this is your first time here, welcome to the party. My name is Cameron and I do summary videos for the quests that you may have skipped while playing World of Warcraft. So if you're interested in the quest lore but didn't want to take the time to read everything, consider this the cliff notes of what you missed out on. Okay. Back to the Taurens. Last time we left Camp Narache after dealing with the Quillbore situation. And now we've landed in Bloodhoof Village, which is named after Bane Bloodhoof's tribe. The first thing you do is speak to Amo Thunderhorn. He tells you that things aren't good around here, and that the Pale Mane Gnolls have settled to the south of the village. There's been attempts to talk to them, but they don't listen. Instead, they just go around killing everything in Mulgore. So they gotta go. And Amo wants you to kill 15 of them. He also mentions that the Venture Company, which is a goblin cartel, have been trying to exploit the resources of Mulgore but haven't really been successful. So one of the Tauren outrunners, named Morin Cloudstalker, has gone out to check on one of the remains of the goblin caravans. And if you wish to help him out, then follow the road out of the village to the east. Now, before we do all of this, there's quite a few people we need to talk to first. So, first on that list is Rule Eagletalon. He's a warrior and a teacher in the village, and says that you've obviously reached the age when you need to start preparing for the trials. So if you want to test your strength, then head southeast and kill 8 Windfury Harpies, who happens to be one of the Tauren's natural enemies here in Mulgore. And when you're finished with that, bring back their talons as proof of their death. Now you run up to Mole Thunderhorn. He tells you that the sacred wells have been tainted, and they need to be cleansed. The first one he wants you to focus on is the Winterhoof Water Well, and to do all of this, he's gonna need some supplies. He wants you to bring back 6 Prairie Wolf Paws, and 4 Planestrider Talons. With those, he'll be able to create a totem, and once you have that, you'll be able to perform the ritual which will cleanse the well. And I definitely need some water. Oh man. The Planestriders and the Prairie Wolves can be located to the southwest of here. Now you run up to Harken Wind Totem. He talks about a bird called the Swoop, and how they're very difficult to find and hunt. But a collection of Swoop quills is considered a big flex, so he wants you to bring him back 8 quills, to bring honor for your clan. Swoops can be located all throughout Mulgore, so be on the lookout when you're questing. Okay, 2 more people to talk to, and then we're out of here. So hang in there, you're doing great. You run up to Varg Windwhisper, and he's a leather armor merchant that has a bunch of hides from the animals here in Mulgore. But he needs to get them to Thunderbluff, because a colleague of his named Ahanu is gonna use them to make a bunch of leather stuff. So he wants you to fly to Thunderbluff, and the best way to get there is by using a Wind Rider. So we've seen this before. Classic introduction to the main city. We'll tackle this quest right off the bat when we head out. Lastly, you meet Mar Raincaller, and he tells you about how his grandfather told him stories about his battles with a strider named Mazranache? I'm gonna go with Mazranache. Some nasty thing with red eyes, sharp talons, and a venomous bite. So Mar tells you that he ran into him, and it took a pretty big bite out of his shoulder. He's gathered all the parts he needs for a remedy to counteract the infection, except for one final ingredient. He needs a flatland cougar femur, and he needs it quick because he's getting weaker. So I'm sure we can help him out when we're doing our thing. Okay, now that we've basically met the entire village, let's get that leather to that guy in Thunderbluff. You run up to Tak, the Wind Rider Master. Of course, he charges you and tells you that if you're delivering leather to Ahanu, then you'll be able to find him in Hiwa's Armory, which is located at the base of the Wind Rider Tower in Thunderbluff. So you fly out to the main city, and upon landing, you head down the tower and meet up with Ahanu, giving him the hides that you were supposed to deliver. He says he'll get to work right away and pays you for your travel costs. And just like that, he's done preparing the stuff for Varg to sell back at Bloodhoof Village. Wow, that was quick. So since you're heading back there, might as well make another delivery. So you head up the tower and talk to Tal, the Wind Rider Master, and catch a ride all the way back to Bloodhoof Village. Once you land, you make your way over to Varg Windwhisper and hand him the items that Ahanu wanted you to deliver. Varg says that he'll sell these things pretty quick due to the amount of hunters that are in the area. Now it's time to head out, and wow, it got really dark really quick. Anyways, when you get to the bridge, you meet Ahab Wheathoof, who's lost his dog named Kyle. Ahab thinks that he's running around the village, and he wants you to find him and feed him. He tells you that his favorite thing to eat is tender strider meat, and since you're heading out into the field, that shouldn't be a problem for you to get. So now you finally head out, and the first thing you do is kill a cougar and loot him for his femur. Then you hunt 8 swoops for their quills, 6 prairie wolves for their paws, and 4 plain striders for their talons, along with their meat for that lost dog. Pretty much, you kill a lot of stuff out here, but we're not done yet. Now it's time to head south and deal with the gnoll problem. Once you arrive, you engage and kill 15 gnolls in the area. After killing everyone, you head out east towards the Red Cloud Mesa, and test your strength by killing 8 Wind Fury Harpies for their talons. Once you finish that, you start heading back to Bloodhoof Village via the road. And on your way back, you run into Morin Cloudstalker. Now, you were supposed to meet up with him to take care of the venture company's situation. And he tells you that a few days ago, they found a caravan traveling on the northern shore of Stone Bull Lake, which they attacked and laid waste to it. Morin says that they left the supply crates, thinking that their torches would destroy anything that they had of value, but the venture company have been spotted near the burning wagons. So Morin wants you to go over to the area and examine the contents to see what's going on. Now you head out, and once you arrive, you take out a few of the venture company members. Then you find a crate, and notice that the sides of the crate are stamped with the venture company mining division sign. You also find notes printed on the side, indicating that the contents are due for processing at one of their central plants. You pry open the lid and find an assortment of ores and minerals, plus more evidence of the venture company's mining operations here in Mulgore. So now you leave the caravan and head back to Morin to report. After he reads the papers that you found in the crate, Morin confirms that the venture company is attempting to rob Mulgore of its natural resources, and says that we need to do something about it, because unfortunately the Tauren can't allow them to conduct their business here in the land. So you're to head to their mine in the northeast and send them a message by killing 7 of their workers. Also, according to the documents that you brought back, the venture company was planning on running the Tauren completely out of Mulgore, leaving them to strip the land of its resources. So while you're in the mine killing the workers, Morin wants you to take out the mastermind of these plans, Supervisor Fizzsprocket, and bring back his clipboard to see if there's anything else that we can learn. So now you head out again and arrive at the mining site. Once there, you kill 7 of their workers and take out Supervisor Fizzsprocket for his clipboard. After that, you leave the mine and return to Morin. Regarding killing the workers, Morin says that the venture company should have known better than to mess with the Taurens, and that they shouldn't be so arrogant to believe that we would allow them to steal the natural resources around us without some sort of protest. I'm gonna say this: I wouldn't want to mess with a big cow person or a tribe of them for any reason. Goblins made a really stupid move. He also says that he'll go through Fizzsprocket's clipboard to see if there's anything else we can learn from it. Now that we've taken care of that little side quest, it's time to head back to Bloodhoof Village and help out with everything going on over there. So you make your way back, and upon arriving, you find that lost dog Kyle and feed him the meat that he likes. Then you report back with Ahab. He's really happy because after you fed Kyle, the dog came straight home and went to bed. So for having done that for Ahab, he gives you some silver for your work. Now you head back into the village and run up to Mar Raincaller. He says that with the femur that you brought him, now he can make the remedy to stop the infection on his shoulder due to the bite that Mazranache gave him. He then rewards you with the swoop skin gloves for having pretty much saved his life. Oh, and he says to watch out for Mazranache when you're out there, but I don't think that's gonna be a problem because, yeah, we took care of him when we were out and about. Next, you run up to Mole Thunderhorn and give him the Prairie Wolf paws, as well as the Plainstrider talons. With these, he says that he'll bind their powers into a totem, which can be used to cleanse the Winterhoof water well. And now Mole wants you to take the totem southeast to cleanse that well, but says to be careful because whoever messed with it might still be there. I mean, to be honest, we may have done these quests out of order or something, because this is turning into the same kind of thing we saw in Elwyn Forest. So you head southeast to the Winterhoof water well, and upon arriving, yeah, there's some opposition here with a group called the Grimtotem. But after you take care of that, you cleanse the well, and head back to Bloodhoof Village to speak to Mole again. Mole isn't happy to hear about the Grimtotem, but says that you've done a great thing by taking care of the well. He rewards you with the legs of the long day, because you know what? Yeah, it's been a long day. I mean, have you looked at the sky? We've gone from day to night to day doing this stuff. So yeah, I think these leggings speak for themselves. But guess what? Mole has more work for you to do. Now we need to create a new totem to cleanse the Thunderhorn well. And get this, in order to create a new totem, you gotta go kill more animals. I mean, haven't we killed, or rather purged this area enough? So you need to go collect 6 stalker claws from prairie stalkers. And 6 cougar claws from flatline cougars. Yeah, I think we did these quests completely out of order. But before we go do that, let's go see if these other quests are completely finished so we don't have to go head out so much. You run up to Rural Eagle Talon, and he commends you for killing the harpies. Good, done with that. Now you run up to Harkin Wind Totem, and hand him the quills that you gathered from the swoops. And he says by doing this, you've proven yourself and that it's good to have you at Bloodhoof Village. And that's that with him. So let's head over to Amo Thunderhorn. He says that it's good that you've taken the task seriously. If you need a reminder, he sent us out to kill 15 of the gnolls to the south. He then rewards you with the Thunderhorn Cloak for having taken care of the gnoll situation. And then yes, he has something else for you to do. I'm really glad that we checked with everyone because I had a feeling that someone was gonna pull this kind of stunt. Amo says that a group of dwarves intruded our lands to the west. And when they started digging up the earth looking for treasure, the spirits of the land that they had abused rose up and took their revenge. Well, those spirits are still pretty pissed off, and they're just roaming around the former dig site. Amo wants you to take a drum with you and play for them, hoping that that might calm them down a bit. Now, before we head out, I just want to say that if you stuck it out through this video and gotten this far, you're awesome. This is becoming a bit longer than I thought this area was gonna be. But man, they really condensed a lot of quests into this one village. Okay, so you make your way out east and kill the 6 prairie stalkers, as well as the 6 flatline cougars. Once you've collected the claws you needed, you head back to the village and speak with Mole once again. Mole says that the Thunderhorn Waterwell is a symbol of his own tribe, and clearly because his last name is Thunderhorn, so the fact that it's been desecrated, and even more so by other Taurens, really upsets him. Speaking about those other Taurens, let's talk about the Grimtotem, or rather the ones that are messing up the water wells. They're a tribe that thinks that all of Kalimdor should belong to the Taurens alone. So their hate and anger led to this corrupting thirst for power, and their leader named Magatha poisoned the Hive chieftain Cairn Bloodhoof, and attempted to take Thunder Bluff for herself. But we fought her off and the Grimtotem were exiled. So now they're trying to ruin Mulgore because of everything that happened. So, back to Mole. He makes you the totem and wants you to perform the cleansing ritual to the well in the north. So you head out, and upon arriving, sure enough, the Grimtotem are hanging around the area. So you take a few of them out and perform the cleansing ritual on the well. And since we're out here, you might as well head west to the dig site, so we can calm down around 6 of the angry spirits, which you do by using the drum. Once that's done, you make your way back to Bloodhoof Village, and speak to Amo Thunderhorn. He says that the land is still pretty messed up if it took this much effort to calm down the spirits, and to not forget seeing the fate of those who scarred the Earth Mother. Yeah, he's talking about you, dwarves. Amo then rewards you with either the chest guard of the beating drums, or the worn ceremonial tomahawk for helping out the land. Now you return to Mole Thunderhorn after cleansing the well to the north, and he says that you've done him great honor to both him and his ancestors today. Then he rewards you with the Bloodhoof War Shield for having cleansed the water wells. Now that you've finished all of this stuff, Mole thanks you for fighting off the Grimtotem, but says that there's more to be done, and says that it's time for your journey to lead you beyond Bloodhoof Village. Thank you so much. He wants you to speak to Zarlman Two Moons, located by the fire to the north end of the village, so that you can learn about the next ritual that you must undertake. Now, you head north to meet up with Zarlman Two Moons, and he says that he could sense that you were coming to meet him. He mentions that he can always recognize one who is trying to pass the rites of the Earth Mother, and warns you to be ready to leave Bloodhoof Village, saying that the next step will take your journey very far from here. Now, he wants you to consume the waters near the tribal fire. And once you've ingested the holy waters, your eyes will be opened and the spirits will guide you. This is what they consider the rite of vision. So you drink the water and turn into a spirit wolf, traveling all the way across Mulgore to the northern region, and end up at Camp Sungraze to continue your journey and the rituals to come. And that was Bloodhoof Village. Wow, that was long. Again, this was my first time learning anything about the Taurens or even playing through their starting zone, so I'm very well aware that the order that I did the quest was probably completely wrong. But we got them done and we learned what's going on in this area. And we've also managed to completely destroy my voice. Long episode, and if you've managed to make it this far, then consider subscribing to the channel. It's a lot of fun learning all this quest lore that I've skipped over all these years. And if you're in the same boat, then I hope that this summarizes everything that you may have missed. Big shout out to the Patreon subscribers for supporting this channel. If you'd like to help out with this project, then go ahead and check out the Patreon link down below. Like and share this episode with your friends, and we'll see you guys next week when we find out what happens next with the Taurens in the Tales of Azeroth. And hand him the